Game that I made up. Regular viewers of the show will recall that when we left, Shadowhawk and Spawn had just received their first mission from the old man Zadok. That's the first story mission. Zadok had requested that they go into the woods and destroy the creature who had once been his wife. Let's pick up right there. Our heroes have just left Zadok and are heading back out of town, back out of Gloomsbrook, when they're stopped by yet another townsperson. His name is Jasper, and Jasper says, "My God, look at you. Has there ever been a stranger pair walking through this town?" And Shadowhawk says, "We're not from around here." And Jasper says, "I should say not. Are you French? You look French." Spawn says, "We're not French. We're from," and then Shadowhawk interrupts and he says, "Don't worry about him. He's confused. We're French." And then Jasper says, "Well, doesn't that just write home? 2 Frenchmen in Gloomsbrook. My brother Giles won't believe it. He's a gunsmith. His shop is near the town's north wall. If you ever need firearms for hunting or for protection, you can go there. He has a wide variety of guns for sale, and he can also craft new firearms for you if you bring him the correct components. Here, let me point the shop's location on your map." And at this point, the player is taken to a map screen where a blue pin is placed right on the spot where the gunsmith Giles' shop is located. A tutorial dialogue pops up and says, "This is your map. You can use it to track the location of people, places, and quests. A blue marker indicates a point of interest. A green marker indicates the current active quest. A yellow marker indicates all other inactive quests. And once a quest is completed, the marker will turn white. So as you pass by certain locations like shops or fast travel points, these will be added to the map. At any time, you can press select or menu and see a key of all the different map icons. Okay, so now that the town map is explained, let's keep talking to Jasper. And Jasper says, "Well, now that you know where to buy any guns you might need, I'll let you go about your own business. Where are you off to anyway?" And then Shadowhawk says, "We're headed to the woods." And then Spawn says, "We're going to kill Zadok's possessed wife." And then Jasper says, "The woods? You wouldn't survive a minute in the woods. There's poison in the air that will kill you in an instant. No, 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 don't go into the woods. Not without proper protection. It just so happens that I sell special talismans to protect against the evil that haunts the forest all around us. Any of these charms will do for now, but they have other powers that could come in handy in other situations. May I interest you in anything?" So the screen immediately switches to a shop window where you can see all of Jasper's talismans or charms. They all cost money, which you don't have any at this point in the game. But so a couple things can happen. You can exit without buying anything, which leads to Jasper saying, "Thanks for coming to and looking at my talismans. Come back and see me anytime." But here's the thing: if you exit without buying anything and head back out of town, out into the woods, you are quickly turned back because some kind of evil miasma has covered up everything, all of the woods, and walking into the woods immediately causes damage. And if you stay in the miasma for too long, you die. So what do you do, right? Well, if you choose to try to go into the woods, without a talisman, take some damage and go back, or if you just tried to buy one of Jasper's talismans or charms without exiting, you get the same result. Jasper says, "Good choice. Unfortunately, you seem to be unable to pay the gold I require. But don't worry, I'll give you a special talisman that will allow you into the woods unharmed. But I need you to do a favor for me." And then Spawn says, "Big surprise." And then Shadowhawk says, "What's the favor?" And then Jasper says, "There is an ancient tunnel beneath my house. I can't say where it leads, but I have been hearing things and finding the mutilated corpses of rats. I took my lantern and my sword down into it, but after some time I had passed in the catacomb, I heard an otherworldly sound that caused me to turn and to run. I don't know what it was, but I hope that I never have to hear that sound again." And then Spawn says, "Where is your house?" And then Jasper says, "Here, have the key to my basement. You can enter via the door at the back of the house. Allow me to mark it on your map." The map screen opens up again. You see the green pin. You can see the green pin goes right where Jasper's house is. If you look at the map right now, a dialogue window pops up, asks if the player, if you want to accept the quest, which you should definitely accept the quest, because what's going to happen is you're going to just spend the rest of the game in Gloomsbrook, which is not that big of a town. Okay, so time to go to Jasper's basement. Let's take a quick break now and hear what you guys think of the game so far. We got any callers on the line? What? But I hope that I never have to hear that sound. Hi, you're on the air with electronic game information. It's Tokyo Game Show. I just got through explaining some pretty important information about the game that I made up.
Okay.
What do you think of the game that I made up so far?
I think it's pretty good. There are a lot of good role-playing aspects on it. I don't know what kind of system are you like planning on putting it on? Like what format?
Well, I mean, I'd say, like, you know, these days you just got to put everything on Steam first and see where else it goes after that, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
So
I don't know
my
why
idea is
you couldn't
this. My
release
idea
it
is that
maybe
we get like crowdfunding for it, right? The crowdfunding, we gotta get all the licensed properties, because there's Spawn and Shadowhawk and a few other characters that exist in other universes, and then we can go about kind of doing another route of crowdfunding, assemble the team of developers for the game, you know, the coders and the art directors and all, and you know, character rigging, all of that.
What kind of other characters are in the game?
Well, there's Spawn and there's Shadowhawk, and you know, there's other townspeople that you're going to meet if you stay within Gloomsbrook, of course. And then, of course, you know, if you watch the previous episodes, you'll know that they were basically pushed into this portal by the Violator.
Okay. So
the Violator's in there, and so is and eventually Hawk's shadow is going to show up. That's Shadowhawk's nemesis. He's a racist.
Okay, that's good too, because it's like tying into like actual real world problems as
real
well.
world problems, and we're going back to old America. We're looking at just like how America was before, you know, the modern era, before we started looking at human rights in a more serious way.
Yeah, I think that's great, and it's really, yeah, it has that message that a lot of games, you know, like the new like Death Stranding and like stuff like that is real big, like metaphorical kind of game.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could talk a mile a minute about Death Stranding if you want to, you know, get a crowd. But this is the kind of game that really takes a special kind of mind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you really need to like delve deep into it. There's a lot of things that like you could unravel that like aren't on the surface.
Hey, Alan? Yeah, hold on, Alan. I'm talking to a caller right now about the game that I made up.
Yeah, I just wanted to check in and see if you knew when we might be able to just like show my report real quick.
Alan, it's going to happen. You got to be patient.
That's kind of rude, man.
I want to talk a little bit more about some other aspects of the game. Still got the. I guess we lost the caller on the line. Sorry that we lost you, caller. I was having a really nice conversation.
I'm sorry.
Alan.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just important that we show it like today, and it's not going to take long, and then you can get back to your stuff.
I mean, we got a lot of stuff to cover, Alan. We got a video poem coming up. First, we're going to take one more caller. Caller, you're on the air. Electronic Game Information, Tokyo Game Show. Game I made up. We talked a lot about subject matter. We talked about some pretty important issues. What do you think?
Well, I need to know if we're going to be able to date any of the characters.
You're going to do a date? Like,
yeah,
this isn't Fable, okay? This isn't some game where you just walk around a town getting into other people's business. This is a story-driven action RPG. No dating.
Well,
I don't have.
yeah,
nobody has time. Look,
if I start,
we haven't even started. I just explained the tiniest bit of information about the map. And I haven't talked about inventory management. I haven't talked about the battle system, and that's going to change. And this is a town, a settlement in the frontier of old America. You can't imagine the kind of, there's going to be strategy involved.
Well, I got to go north and settle a farm and then date somebody.
It's not going to happen. I don't. You want to play Harvest Moon? You want to play Stardew Valley? Go ahead and do it. That's not the game. This is a hard-hitting action RPG with dark elements, horror elements, fantasy, and history, and undertones of political undertones.
How are you going to have immersion if there's no way to date and raise a farm, raise a family?
Oh, I don't know. How about gems that you can stick into swords and special bullets that are dipped in wolf's blood?
That doesn't make any sense.
Alan, hold on for a second.
We're talking to the I want to go mine a couple of gems, and I want to go mine it with my boyfriend and my girlfriend, and also our children.
That makes sense.
What are you talking about? Alan? Do you don't even know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I think he's just pointing out. I don't want to talk about it. Never mind. He's pointing out flaws in your game.
No, Alan, back me up.
Alan, look, I need everyone to just be a little bit more considerate. We have a lot of information to go through tonight. We have a video poem coming up. Let's just.
Can we just show
Alan, it's not going to happen right now because we have the video poem, okay?
Okay.
Caller, thanks for your time. Thanks for your observations. No way in hell am I going to let any dating happen in this game.